out with and surrounding yourself with the right people at the right time. That's
Yes.
going to be our topic for today. Whether you are just looking to up your game within your job,
Mhm.
whether you're looking to start something new, it's who is around you at different levels and who do you need around you at those different stages.
It's true.
Um,
It's whenever, I mean, they always say that you become the people that you're surrounded by. So
that
if
is
it's
true.
business, personal, whatever you're trying to achieve in that year or
But
season of your
even
life.
some of the people you want around you when your
Yeah.
business is established
Yeah.
may not serve you well when you first
Mm.
start something new.
True. It's different
Yeah.
stages. So I get
Different
it.
stages.
Yeah.
So, but first we're going to get on the trolley because
I heard
do
this
hear
trolley
it.
is a little dangerous.
It
I've heard
is
it's hit people.
dangerous.
I just want to let me get on this thing. All right.
It is. Yeah.
It's a little
Okay. We're on.
dangerous.
We're on
Right.
board.
Yeah.
And look, you know what's also exciting? With Taylor not here, I get to be in control of the soundboard.
Is she the one that controls the soundboard?
Always.
I know she's the
She
type that
will
wants to
not
control
let
the
me
soundboard.
touch it. She thinks I can't do it. But guess what?
She has
Holla.
turn.
But I do have to take off my ear thing.
Yeah.
Well, because it's hurting my ear.
Yeah. We were deciding if we wanted to wear the headphones or not.
I think when you have earrings,
Yeah.
so you'll have to be our sound person.
Okay, I'll keep the headphones on. I'll let us know if it doesn't work.
Strangle myself with this.
Gina's gonna take her. Yeah.
It hurts with earrings on. Okay, so I'm gonna take that off, but we're gonna start off with a little bit of news. So one thing I thought that came out this week, which I love, it's a good sales tactic that I've heard about for years, and the sales tactic is something Taco Bell is doing.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, so it does make you start getting hungry, but Taco Bell has a new thing called Name Your Price. So when I first heard it, I thought it was you could just go up and go, I want a taco for a quarter.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's not how it works. So
Yeah.
what they're doing is you go up to the window, and I think you have to use the app. I mean,
Oh.
it's kind of funny. Do you use any apps for fast food?
I try not to just because I want to just tell them what I want, but I know that you get rewards and points.
Okay, yeah.
Too
They
many
always say
apps too.
Chick-fil-A is big on. Are you
Yeah.
using the Chick-fil-A app? And I'm like, no, but should
No.
I? Like,
Panera
why
always
should
does
I?
that, I think. Because
Yes.
Panera's always like, do you have points? I'm like,
but what
"No,
do you
I don't."
get for it?
I don't know. It's usually
Something
they just
free.
want to get you on an email newsletter. I don't know. What they're
That's
trying
why I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Taco Bell, I think you have to use their app.
Oh.
And when you drive up, you can say, oh, it's dinner time. I'm buying stuff for my family. I have $8 to spend. And they're going to say, see ya.
They're like, all you can get is beans, like a cup of beans. Here you go. Move along.
But they'll actually tell you, if you say I have $8 to spend, they will then say, here's what you can order for $8, which is a smart tactic, because if somebody says to you, I'd like you to do a project for me, and you say, what's your budget?
Yeah.
Usually people say they don't know.
It's very interesting, and it's a very interesting way that the food industry is moving towards, because Chili's is also being very competitive with their meals.
Oh.
They have like it's like a 3-for-1 meal, and they're pricing it very competitive.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the reality of things getting way too expensive.
Yeah.
And the food industry just trying to make it a little bit more, I don't know,
Enticing you.
enticing or some way of being more creative.
And making you at least believe that you're spending less.
You're spending less, even though you probably are not.
You're probably spending the
Yeah,
same.
you're probably
If I
spending the
say
same.
$8, they go, well, there's 2 tacos you could get.
Yeah.
Then that would have been the same as before. But now you can actually name your price, meaning name your budget. But I like that. I like that idea. Sometimes when people come in and they want a really discounted price, then it's good to sometimes say, what is your budget?
Yeah.
If they don't know, say, well, how much do you want to spend on this?
It's true. And it's
Put it in
funny
a different word.
because, again, just talking about price, I've always been a little bit bad with money when it comes to like buying things. I never really looked at the price and been like, oh, this is what I can afford. I'll get that.
I'll get that.
But now it's just like, now I have to look at the
Yeah,
prices.
yeah.
Even just going and getting a Snickers bar, it's like, this is $4. I'm not going the king
Well,
size. I'm just getting the normal
I'm
size.
telling you right now,
Yeah.
chocolate prices are crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone is saying you're going to see a lot more like gummy candies in your Halloween baskets. So yeah,
Well, I don't
chocolate.
discriminate. I like all kinds of candy.
You like all
Yeah.
kinds. Well, that's,
Yeah.
well, talk about those of you. I want to know if anybody's ever, first of all, put in the chat if you ever use an app. Like, do you drive through Chick-fil-A or talk about, I'm trying to think who would use it. McDonald's probably has an app.
Yeah. The pizza apps are good, like Pizza Hut or something to get the tracker.
Okay. Kirk, for those of you who don't know, my husband, we used to call him the Captain Kirk. He loves, is it Pizza Hut or Domino's?
It's one of them that has a tracker.
And it tracks, and it tells you like, Kelly is putting your pizza in the
Yes.
oven right now.
It was so smart.
Oh,
And
so
I think we
smart.
just love, maybe, I don't know if it's a guy thing or whatever. We just like seeing the progress of something that,
That's it.
even if it's something stupid, like now the pizza's in the oven.
Yes. And he would be saying, yes, Kelly's
Yeah.
putting it in the oven.
Yeah.
And then, okay, Robert is putting it in the car and he's delivering. He's like, go, Robert, go, Robert.
Yes. It's just, I don't know what it is. We just want to see what's happening.
So, yeah, I want to
Yeah.
know, is anybody using apps for
let us know.
their food or like fast food? Pizza I could see because
Yeah,
you kind of
pizza
want to
makes
know
sense
you're
because
delivering.
there's stages.
Yeah,
Fast food, maybe they're just throwing it in the oven and here you go.
and
Or I don't know.
maybe it's not even Kelly, but they're telling you it's Kelly. I
Maybe
always
it's just
wonder
a whole
that
big
it's a scam.
scam.
They're all that it all says Kelly.
Pretty
But-
pretty soon, robots are going to be making all their food.
We did order groceries for the first time. We did DoorDash,
Oh.
or no, I think it was Uber Eats, delivering your groceries.
Oh,
What was interesting is it did the tracking. It showed, I think the girl was Megan, and it showed Megan, and it was showing which aisles she was
really?
on
So
in the
you're really
grocery
tracking
store.
her in the
So then
grocery
you
store.
could chat with her live and say, "No, it's on your left."
Oh, really?
I mean, you could say if she says I can't find.
Well, actually, that's really smart because I feel like groceries has always been hard.
Yeah.
When they pick either the produces that are not very like ready or ripe, that's the part that's always very
So
frustrating.
really, we need to have them wearing a GoPro, and then they can
goodness.
show you
How lazy are we becoming? Honestly, we're
it.
becoming such a lazy society that we're just having other people do
stuff
what
for
we
us.
should be doing.
Okay.
I get if you're a busy person, but sometimes I feel like that. I just want to sit, watch the game.
I know.
Yeah.
It's bad. I mean, especially I live where it's far away to get to the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's not really far, but it's like 7 miles,
Mhm.
maybe 10 round trip, something like that.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh, we could just have somebody deliver it.
that makes sense.
We're lazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other fun thing that you and I were talking about earlier, Crocs has come out with dog shoes. Crocs for dogs.
It was only a matter of time.
It's all. Okay. First of all, I'm not a Crocs person.
I'm not. We were talking about this earlier, and I haven't made the dive to Crocs because I always thought it was silly. I know.
I like that you said dive because
dive.
you do have to sink pretty low.
Yeah. Well, and I'm an open-minded person. Like I will try anything, but the Crocs thing just hasn't
No,
been a thing for me. But when it comes to dogs
you would do it.
or even kids, like Crocs are cute.
They are cute on kids.
Yes,
They are really cute when
super
they're
adorable.
little baby Crocs and stuff.
Adorable.
Yes, all day long.
Yes.
But for dogs, would your dogs wear them?
So that's always the thing with footwear and dogs. And I have 2 Boston Terriers, and they hate
They're
like,
very
the
cute.
snow. Yeah, maybe I'll bring them for Halloween.
You need to bring them because we're going to have a dog fashion or a dog parade.
Yeah.
Every year we do a dog parade
Yep.
here with their Halloween costumes. So I
I'll have
remember
to
you
then.
brought them
I know.
like the first Halloween,
The
2020
first
or
Halloween,
something.
they were like anyway, so footwear for dogs is just a thing, but I think the challenge is always like getting the footwear on and then like making sure that they actually know how to walk and they're not like freaking out.
I
So-
wonder how long does it take before mine would just be paralyzed.
Yeah, exactly. They
The
just do
Chiweenies would
yeah.
just stand there like they would
Stand
not
there.
even move.
Yeah.
But I think it would be hysterical, and they're really helpful in Colorado when it's so cold,
And when it's hot, when
or
you're
if
hiking,
it's too hot. Yeah,
like when you're hiking, it's always
Oh,
a thing. Like, have you ever seen someone like carry their dog? It's because their feet.
that's actually a good
Yeah.
point. Like
So
what if
maybe it
it's
really is for like
Yeah.
the hiking.
like little gravel getting in their
Yeah,
pods.
gravel. It gets hot.
So we're lazy, and our dogs are wimps. That's what we're realizing.
Yeah, and Americans just love their dogs. So
They do.
anything like if I ever were to start
So
another
true.
business, it'd probably be a
It
business
should be
the
in dogs. Yeah,
because
it should-
people will throw money at dogs.
I mean,
Dog
we
stuff.
have dogs here, and we keep saying we should have a dog room,
Yeah.
like a playroom where dogs could just run crazy.
Yep.
But then who's going to clean
It's
that?
gonna get pretty crazy.
It's going to be gross.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to do that. Okay, Kathy Turley. Never use an app, but remember, I'm another generation.
Oh,
Kathy, you are my life goal is to be like Kathy, still being involved in everything,
Yeah.
and she's amazing. Okay, so one other news thing that I it's more of like an app that I found or
Mhm.
a website called Listen Notes. You go to listennotes.com. I was wanting to share a podcast I was on, but I couldn't remember exactly how to find
Yep.
it or what it was called. Well, there's a site called listennotes.com. You can go in there and you can either type your name if you've been on podcasts before, type your name in Listen Notes, and it will show every podcast you've ever been on.
very interesting.
Or let's say that I like Francisco just wrote a book and I want to go, oh, I wonder if he's ever been on podcast. I could type your name in. It'll search for
Interesting.
any podcast.
So is
that
it
you've
using
been on.
like AI or is it using just like a search
Probably
engine?
just search,
Yeah.
just boring search.
No, it sounds interesting. This
But
is my
then right
first.
from there, you can say share, and you
Yeah.
can share it on LinkedIn or Facebook.
Well, this is my first time on a podcast.
Is it really?
I think so. Yeah. I've done a lot of like YouTube and
True.
being in front of a camera, but live is different. It's better though because you're not like
Yeah.
even if you mess up or anything, you just
no
keep
editing,
going.
people. No editing.
Yeah,
no.
editing is honestly the worst
It
part
is.
of any kind of post production. It takes so much time.
Too much time,
Yeah.
and you're paying a lot. Now AI can do some of it for you, but no, I'm always like, let's go live.
Let's go. It's just
do it.
get it done, get it out, and move on.
Conversational. Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. You
Yeah.
had something in the news, which I was fascinated by, that you were talking about the glasses.
Yeah. So the Meta smart glasses is going to be something that's going to be taking off, I feel like. So augmented reality is something that has been it's been tried, it's
Yep.
failed, but I think that's how technology works.
It does. You have to give it some time, sometimes 10 years.
Sometimes when it's too new or the right company doesn't really take it on, it just takes a while for it to
Well,
kinda
and Pete,
gain
I get a lot of
traction.
questions, augmented reality versus virtual reality.
Yeah, so I can kind of explain that quickly. So augmented reality involves your surroundings, meaning that if you're
It
looking
puts
at a
an
wall,
overlay.
yeah, it's a digital overlay of what you're looking at.
Okay.
currently. So if I'm looking at an example is if you have like ingredients, say you have
Oh, that would
uh,
be cool.
yeah, so if you have like I don't know if you're trying to make something and you show your glasses that you have these ingredients, it gives you ideas of what you can make with those.
It's like Taylor was saying last week, she used a Lego app I think it's called Bricks.
Yeah.
But you put it over the pile of Lego that you have,
Yeah,
and it'll show you what you can make,
exactly.
and then it will also show you what's missing, like these pieces are missing. Do you remember the old? Well, it's kind of like, what's the game? Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
That's augmented reality.
Yeah, it was
You're holding
augmented.
your phone up.
Exactly. And your phone can already do augmented reality. The
Right.
biggest difference is that you're actually wearing it.
And one of my favorite apps, which I know Kirk would be the first to get this if it
Mhm.
were something you wear, Sky, I think it's called Skywalker.
Okay.
You put it up to the sky, and
Yeah.
at night it shows you
Yeah.
where all the
love that
constellations
app.
are. That's really
it tells
cool.
you where all the planets are at.
It's so
That
cool.
is augmented reality.
Yes.
So I think the factor that's kind of a little bit, we're entering that zone of maybe creepiness is the fact that you're
wearing them.
it and people don't know that you're wearing it and
Right.
possibly can identify people by, this is her social media just because I'm
Oh
looking
my
at.
gosh, though, I need that
Yeah.
so bad, because people will come in
I
and
know.
I'm thinking, what is that person's name?
I know.
How cool would it be
awesome
if
would
it
that be?
said right on your glasses,
Yes.
here comes Kelly.
I'm so bad
You
at
met
names.
her at this gala
yeah.
last year. That would be like, that's kind of like Devil Wears Prada,
Yeah.
where she's walking and her assistant is behind her going,
Yep.
this is Robert. You met him at this.
Exactly.
Here's what you need to
The
know.
assistant is right there.
Oh, wow.
I would love it. I think some personalities would love
I'm
it. Some
buying them.
people would hate it. But I think me and you,
We're gadget people.
we need to get these glasses and maybe wear them at the next one.
I'm going to try it,
Yeah.
because right now Facebook has the Ray-Ban ones,
Yeah.
but they're coming out with another version that they're already working on. I can't
Yep.
remember what they're calling
I
that
can't
one.
remember what those are called either.
But I'm going to get the Ray-Ban ones.
I'll get them too. I'm
Kirk was
already
just
used to
about to
wearing
get them
these.
for me, because he bought me Google Glass
Yeah.
back in 2007.
Yeah, it was a while ago, and they look like futuristic. It's like a little sliver of like.
It was cool.
I think the point is that it has to look semi-normal
Yes.
and like fashionable.
Nobody wants to put a big giant
Yeah.
thing on their face
So
and
I
walk
think
around.
Apple are usually the ones that are like they get the technology and they fix it and they make it like
Beautiful.
streamlined,
Yeah.
beautiful. But I think they just went too expensive. And it's just too
$3,000
bulky.
for something you're going to wear occasionally.
Yeah,
like,
it's just not something
No.
that is going to be feasible.
And
So,
I think the
yeah.
glasses, okay, we're going to get them.
Yeah, we're gonna get them.
We're going to walk around and hope that it does tell us
Yeah.
who we're looking at.
So if you find us at the village walking around and we have them on,
he may have them on right now, and you
I
don't
might
even
have
know.
them on right now, and
Yeah.
you don't know.
See, what's good too is we wear glasses
Yeah,
normally,
yeah.
so maybe people won't realize. I
I
wear
know.
the big, thick ones
Yeah,
sometimes.
and
though.
it would be a little suspect if you like we're talking to someone and you know that they didn't wear glasses and now they have them on.
And they're
You're
going,
like, what are you up to?
recording us?
Are you
Yeah.
recording me?
I'll say, what? Sign here.
Yeah, sign this, and this. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, love it. I love all these gadget things,
Mhm.
and that's our news that we have for you. So
All right.
hopefully you can use that, and we will head over to our main topic,
Okay.
our main town
Are
square.
we on the trolley? Are we getting off? Or are we just staying? We're just moving.
We're just moving.
We're just moving.
Did you hear a ding?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm trying to get with the times. All right. The sound, everything.
Oh.
Yeah,
We either have to wear headphones all the time.
I know.
You don't hear it ding ding?
No, I heard
heard it.
something. I heard it. I'm
You heard it.
just saying things.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I saw it light up, so I
Yeah.
was assuming we're there.
No, I heard it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do another shameless plug for my book, Changing Directions
Yes.
and Starting from Scratch.
Yep.
In that book, I described, which I'm speaking to a group this week, and they want to know, how do you stay relevant in your career? How do you stay out front? And my thing is, I'm always interested in that next thing.
Mhm.
And I love gadgets. I love new technology. But part of it is staying from really working on not getting stuck in your industry so much that you stop learning about other industries, which is probably fun for you doing the work that you do. You're always working with different industries.
Yeah, yeah, and it's always like you said, you never want to feel like you're the professional or like you're the know-it-all, or maybe
Yeah.
you do, but
Learn it all. Be a learn it all.
Be a learn it all. You always
Yeah.
want to make sure you're learning new things. We work with a really cool technology called Ubiquity, and the cool thing about them is that they're always putting out new products like
Cameras.
cameras, access control, AI. Like it's always like they're always innovating. So that's why I love working with them. But the goal is really just to keep learning, keep talking to people about their experiences,
Yeah.
how they do things, and that's what's cool about this place. The Village.
This week I had a woman come in and she said she just sold her business, which is awesome, and she doesn't know what she wants to do next. And I said, well, I would suggest taking a class on something out of your regular normal
Yeah.
industry. Go take a class. Maybe it's an art class. Maybe it's a dance class. Maybe it's go through, even though like here, there's a Colorado Free University, like going through that catalog and saying, I'm going to sign up for a class that's something I don't know anything about, just to go explore new things, or go to the store and go to the magazine. I love going to Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Because they are still around, people.
And that's
They are
cool. I used to,
still
as a
around.
kid, I used to love going
I
to the
know.
magazine section.
And they're so random.
Yeah.
But usually what we do is we go to the magazine section and we go to the same magazines that
Yeah.
we always look at. Pick like maybe 3 magazines in really random industries.
Yeah.
What would you pick?
I like architectural magazines a lot, and apparently I get those
Interesting.
magazines sent to me here,
Oh yeah, you do.
and they're really cool. I
The
just love
Architectural
architectural
Digest.
stuff, and I'm a little bit all over the place. I like that. I like fashion, but then I'll like something that's a little bit, technology or 4x4 or
Yeah.
something like it's just like a little bit
You
more
do have a good range.
a good
of
range, and it gets me
industries.
in trouble because I just do a little bit of too much. But my hobbies are just like I like everything. So.
Yeah. Do you still take people on back road trips?
We do. I haven't done it in a while. It's called overlanding. It's where you go up and spend like a week up in the mountains.
serious?
And kind of
Do you camp in tents or in the car?
So they had rooftop tents that go on top of your like
Car.
4Runner, and then you can pop it up and then go up there,
Love it.
sleep, and you have a kitchen in the back. And so I've been, it's been a while since I've been up and done that, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
That's
to
cool.
get out.
Yeah, go and get a magazine about that.
Yeah,
Go get
exactly.
another one about farm life. Go get, although those are pretty similar, maybe. One about knitting.
Yeah.
What-
Knitting is pretty big right now.
It's huge. Which, by the way, I just saw Nikki Brooker every week. We're shouting out to Nikki. Nikki, I just saw a post. She's looking for people who know how to knit. They're wanting to create these cute little things that they're going to bring to moms in the hospitals.
Oh.
So if you are a knitter out there, contact Nikki Brooker. If you don't know Nikki, then contact me and I'll connect you with her. But
Yeah.
she's looking for people who can knit.
Okay.
Which I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know. My grandma used to knit for me, and she used to make like hats and socks. And
I mean,
stuff like
that's talent.
Yeah, it is
That's
talent.
amazing. My grandmother used to sew.
Yeah.
And we had she made all kinds of clothes for us as
Yeah.
kids. So, but what I like to do is pick magazines that are random, flip through them, and then look for things that just pop out that catch your attention.
Yeah.
Like in architectural design, that's a cool magazine because you just start looking at wallpapers, or you might see something with the building structures.
Yeah.
You might see room design. You might see a chair that's really cool. The design of a chair.
A lot of expensive things.
Very expensive
Yeah.
things, but it all of a sudden what it's doing is creating new synapses in
Yeah.
your brain
Exactly.
that get you out of a rut. And I think when I think of who do I want to hang out with when I'm at different stages of a business, when you're starting a business idea, most people will go and talk to their friends and family. That may not be the right person.
I mean, a lot of friends and family are not living the same kind of experience that you are in an
Right.
entrepreneurial journey, because it's really
Yeah.
two different types of people.
Right.
And we're a little bit different and weird and strange because let me ask you this, Gina. So when you find a new hobby, were you ever the type that you wanted to like monetize that hobby, or are you that type that likes to enjoy that hobby?
Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. That's been my problem, is because I would get into a hobby and be like, all right, how can I make money?
Now,
off of
how
it?
can I make money?
And then
out
how
of it?
can I like justify these purchases and create? And I got in trouble doing that. And I know a lot of people that do that too. So I've been a little bit careful with
Yeah.
the new hobbies that I go
Which,
into.
if you talk to your friends and family, immediately they would say no, because all it's going to do is you're going to spend money. It's
It's
going to
really
cost
just
a lot.
exactly.
Yeah. And so
Yep.
they'll shoot down your idea.
Mhm.
And I always talk about when we were thinking of opening the first side of the Village Workspace, I think actually it was before that. It was 10 years earlier when I went to a place in Indianapolis it was called Developer Town. It's still out there. So shout out to the guys at Developer Town. But I walked in and was like, oh my gosh, there's this huge warehouse, and it had cute little tiny houses,
Mm.
tough sheds, but each of them were houses. Now I heard there's another property management company out there. I think they're in Florida, but their office is all different tiny houses inside a warehouse.
Mm.
So I came home and I told Kirk, oh my gosh, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to open Marketing Town, and it's going to have little
Ah.
houses inside, and every one of them will be a different marketing,
Yeah.
web design, app developers, content, video, all of that.
Yeah.
I was so pumped. And immediately he says, you mean you're going to buy a warehouse? You can't just go buy a warehouse. Look at where warehouses are located. You don't want to
Yeah.
work in those areas. And
Industrial.
he just shot holes in it.
Yeah.
And I sat there going, oh yeah, I guess this is a stupid idea.
I think that's the nature of it. Like when I said that I wanted to start an IT business, people that are really not to shoot down how people think. We
Right.
see the end goal of like what we're trying to achieve, but we don't really understand what it's going to take.
Right.
But we just like go through it anyways, and we figure it out
Yeah.
as it comes. And even though it's a big challenge, like we don't care. We see what the light at the end of the tunnel is. Like,
We see the vision.
Yeah, the vision. Yeah.
And I think when you're first starting a new idea, you need to surround yourself. I call them balcony people.
Mm,
People who will cheer you on, who will encourage your ideas,
Yeah.
who will say, oh my gosh, you'll be amazing. Now, don't get confused. These people may not be the ones who will buy from you.
Yeah.
So sometimes we hear everybody telling us what a great idea, and then we make the product
Yeah,
and
and they're-
nobody buys it.
exactly. Yeah.
And then we're like, well, everybody thought it was great.
Yeah.
But they're not the right people when it comes to buying your product.
Yep.
So your balcony people are the ones cheering you on, encouraging you, but then you have to go do research. You have to find out what the costs are going to be, put together a pro forma or a business plan. Then you go to the people who are going to poke holes in it.
Yeah.
And say, okay, am I missing something?
Exactly.
Here's all the data I have.
Yeah.
Here's all the research I have. Now tell me if I'm on target. And then once you get the business going, I think you have to go back and surround yourself with people who are doing bigger things than you.
Mm,
Because I think that's where we get stuck in business. We are the big fish, and we surround ourselves with people who are doing what we're doing,
yeah.
whether it's associations, whether it's
Well,
meetings.
Just in general, I think being a business owner of a small business, you kind of feel like you're on an island.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, because you feel like you're like the only one doing it, but you really are not. It's just
Right.
really about finding the other people that have done what you've done,
Yep.
and maybe even better.
And they've already been there, done that. And you can see that they're doing things, like I always say, they make doing the impossible seem like a Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Like you're thinking this one problem you have is so hard and so
Yeah.
impossible. And then you meet someone who's already done it, and they're like, oh yeah, no, that's what happens.
And that's what I've learned too in business is every year I have a new challenge, and I always feel like it's the end of the world. Like I don't know how
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
There's no way.
And then you look back and you're like, that was nothing
That was so
compared to what
easy.
I'm doing now.
right.
So it's always just learning about maybe your mistakes, and the better thing is learning from other people's mistakes. Is when you
Even, that's
find
the best.
the,
Yeah.
the person that's already done this, you're just learning from them. So
I mean, do you have a mentor? Have you already?
I
you
don't
always
have a
had
mentor currently, and I
Forever?
think that's one of I've here and there. But
Yeah.
I've never really committed to finding one that's really just going to propel me to where I want to get to.
I
So,
know. And that's one thing
Yeah.
I have not had an official,
mm,
like a, mentor that you meet with monthly
Yeah.
that really helps hold you accountable and push you and guide you, helping you make decisions. I have a mastermind group
Yeah.
that I'm in, and it is almost like having a
Yeah.
group of mentors, because we set goals every month. We cover a different topic. And then I'm in another group that's all Denver co-working owners, and we get together and we just share, like, okay, what's a challenge we
Yeah.
have. But with the other mastermind group, it's more, okay, what are you working on? We kind of open the kimono more to say, here's what my numbers are, and what are you spending? What's the percentage of your staffing,
Yeah.
For your revenue, and things that they get, and they can help you make decisions. So that's, to me, been invaluable.
Yeah, and those mastermind groups are maybe people that are doing the same things that you're doing, but maybe
They are. So
we
they
need to challenge
understand.
ourselves to find a mentor and maybe keep each other accountable to
Right.
do that. Cause I think that's something that people always talk about, but they never really do.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. It's like you need to say, here's something I'm working on, and I'm gonna
find s-
check. I'm gonna check in,
Yeah.
with you.
Yep.
Which you've done that because you've said things. I'm like, okay, he inspired me because we kept talking about restarting our podcast.
Yeah.
And we
That's
had
because I enjoyed listening to the podcast, and you and Taylor have pretty good chemistry. And it's hard to.
the sass level. It's
It's
just the sass level
you guys
that
are
people
very.
enjoy.
Oh, you guys are just very sassy. And I have a little bit of sass, but I don't know if it's
You
to a level
you
yet,
have
so.
you have sass that we just have to bring out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just I once we maybe involve a little bit of maybe a little drink, then maybe
I
you'll
think
see
we're
the.
gonna have to change your
I
name
know.
back to Paco.
So Paco is my alter ego. It's actually my nickname. Francisco is my legal name.
Your legal name.
Yeah.
But Paco suddenly I feel like has sass.
I turn into some sassy person.
So
Apparently, if I'm
I
just
think
Paco.
next time you're going to see Gina and Paco,
Yeah.
ride again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but so I do think it's important who you're surrounding yourself with. Get involved. And again, I've been preaching this. Last week we talked about it. People that say my business isn't doing well, and I ask them, who are you hanging out with? Where are you going to network?
Exactly.
And they're doing nothing. They're not going to associations or chambers or here at the village. Like, okay, every Tuesday there's a happy hour, a member mixer.
Yeah.
Come out of your dang office and come out and
You
connect
have to
with people.
come interact with people, talk with people, make just a network of people that you guys can refer each other out to.
Yeah,
I
refer
think,
and just listen to and,
or just
and
listen
chat with and go,
yeah.
here's something I'm working on. Yeah.
I think people get discouraged with going to networking events or any kind of event because they're having this idea that they're going to go
You
sell
have to go sell or be sold to.
or be sold to.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that. It should be you're building a network of people you trust or
Yeah.
that trust you. And then you can continue to find just professionals that you can refer each other
And then
out
you don't
to.
even have to worry about being sold or selling to people. Just
Yeah.
like you said yesterday, you're a salesperson for the village.
Yes. So Gina's done such a great job here that she turns people into salespeople, and she's not even like no one knows that there's
It's
no
part of the-
contractual terms.
It's part of the hypnosis that we do when you
It's-
first join.
It's just this place is just so awesome that I just want to tell other people about this place.
But that's what I mean. I don't have to go and poke business cards at
Yeah.
people. I want people to come up to me and say, can I get your business card? Because I want to make sure that I
Yeah.
have this or can give it to people. And the way that happens is, like you said, first just build relationships.
Exactly.
Get out and build relationships. Those people will go out and talk about you.
Just be trustworthy. It's just like Gina's saying, like come meet people, talk to people, build a community, and like that it's just gonna do itself,
Yeah.
the work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you're feeling stuck either in your career where you are or maybe a business that you're wanting to start, but you haven't had the courage to do it, think about who you're surrounding yourself with.
Yep.
You may be, I call them and basement people. In my mind, I used to have this idea balcony people are cheering you on,
Mhm.
basement people are holding you back.
Mm,
But really, I've come to believe that basement people are people who are realists. They are
Yeah.
not necessarily wanting to hold you back all the time, although there are those people who don't want to see you succeed.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be spending any time with them. But there are also people that you go down to the basement and you say, here's my plan. I'm laying it out on the table, and I need you to look at it and give me
yeah.
feedback from a critic's point of
Mm.
view, because I need that. So there's those people as well.
Yeah.
And be careful. You can't spend too much time.
I mean, sometimes you just have to go to market, and that's what I did. And you
True.
can just learn hard lessons like from that, or you just like capitalism in general. Like people will either buy from you or not.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you have to just adjust.
Just don't sign a 10-year lease if you haven't.
Okay, don't do that. Stay
Yeah.
stay lean as
I
much as
know a lot of
possible.
people who literally just, they have this idea, I'm going to start a community type organization, and they go and sign a lease somewhere, and then they wonder why nobody's coming to
And
their door. And
And
you're
then
like,
people are just gonna show up. That's
who
not
are
how
you
it works.
targeting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your market? How are you connecting with people?
Exactly.
So, yeah, we'd love to hear from you. If you have an idea that you're trying to get started, what type of person do you need to hang out with right now?
Yeah.
Because, yeah,
I
I think
wanna
it's
know.
important. Yeah.
Come down and let us know.
Come down and let us know, or
Yeah.
come and hang out with us.
Come hang out with
because
us.
Then we'll be the people that'll cheer you on.
Exactly.
Okay, we're jumping off the trolley. Yeah, ding, ding. That's choo, choo, choo.
What's the ding ding?
Like a trolley.
I'm so
Have
not.
you never been in a San
I think
Francisco?
I've been. I don't think I've ever been on a trolley.
What
I know.
a sad day.
Is it
Well,
just
it's
like
an
a San
exciting day for
Francisco
you.
thing? Is it only in San Francisco now?
Well, it's on Mr. Rogers, which
Oh,
you
okay.
probably didn't watch.
I'm so not with the times,
No.
and I'm sorry.
You're probably too young.
I'm
for
gonna have
Mr.
to do some
Rogers.
homework before next time. I'll know about trolleys, Mr.
The
I remember
trolleys
Mr.
in San
Rogers.
Francisco. Well, have you ever seen the commercial San Francisco? What is it? The rice-a-roni? San
Maybe.
Francisco treat. Ding ding.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. Well, you'll have
You
to
can
look it
quiz
up.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the trolley is like it's like the cable. Well, they're cable cars.
Yeah.
And they would just have little ding ding bell to get people off the track.
Yeah.
But
They went really
choo-choo-
slow, right?
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. You
Were
weren't
they
having
dangerous?
You weren't having no because
Can you imagine?
there's no seatbelts on them and there's no doors or windows. They're
Yeah.
kind of open.
And
So
people are
you
like are
could
hanging
fall-
off
yes,
of it. And like,
yes, that
okay.
that
yeah,
is the trolley. So yeah, you got to hold on
okay.
because it could, San Francisco, it's going up a hill.
Oh, those
Going
hills
down
are
the
those
hill.
hills are kind of crazy too.
I learned to drive on those hills.
Did you
on
really?
stick shift.
Oh, I was gonna ask that.
That's where I grew
Wow.
up and stick shift. And that's the scariest thing. Even to this day, I would never. We went to San Francisco. Our whole family was in a van and it was automatic and I was afraid.
Yeah.
You just feel
Can you
like
imagine
you're
what
gonna
a
roll
stick
backwards.
shift?
No.
That's like what is it? The anti like Generation Z, like,
Yes. Well, although people now buy stick shifts.
and apparently this might be another topic for another day, but electric manufacturers are going to try to figure out how to do stick shift.
Because they think just people want
Well,
it.
it's just getting so boring. Like I think electric cars are going to get very boring.
Hold your coffee, people.
Yeah.
Hold your coffee.
Yep.
You can't drive a stick shift while you hold your
I know.
coffee.
We need our Starbucks coffee or
gotta
whatever
have
kind of coffee you like.
Okay. Well, we are now in our favorite part of the show, and
Okay.
that's our favorite things.
Favorite things.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah. Do you have some favorite things that
So,
you
Like recently or just like
Anything.
all time?
could be anything? Yeah.
I think favorite things, I've really taken and this, I don't know if this is like exciting or anything, but my health into,
You've gone
I've
hard on
gone
this.
through a journey of focusing on my fitness and health. And it's a journey, right? But it's about this year, I really wanted to build good habits when just going to the gym or trying to eat better.
Yeah.
Because it's always something that I kind of like, I knew that working out was like, like I'll get it done. Maybe
Yeah.
whatever. Now it's just like, I'm getting older. I'm about to be 40.
Oh,
I
he's so old.
I know. Oh, my back is hurting. I really want to build these habits. So like I've been
He's so
running.
old.
I've been going to
But what was the
CrossFit.
program that you did? You did
Well, I did 75 hard. I don't know if you guys know what 75 hard is.
75
was
days
Of
of
just pure torture.
hard. Yeah.
You had to work out twice. You had to get on a diet. No drinking.
You had to work out twice. I could do that one, but you had to work out twice a day.
a day.
I,
I
I've
know.
done the one where you just work out twice.
No, you're just like
just
twice. Just
in
twice.
70
like,
days. Or,
no,
you know,
no. This
just
was twice a day.
I like that one.
So I would go on a run in the morning, and then I would go to CrossFit at night, and I was sore, and it sucked, but I got it done.
And you ate healthy.
Yeah.
No
I lost
drinking.
like 15 pounds.
Yeah.
So it was awesome, but I feel like I got to get back on it. Now I'm like hooked.
Well, but then when you were done with the 75 hard, didn't you say there was another one you were doing, like a something medium?
Well, people
or-
like try to like adjust it to their needs. So maybe they're like, maybe I'll work out twice and still
in
drink.
75 days. See,
Yeah.
I'm going to start one. If
Yeah.
you want to join my program, it's
What is
going
it
to be
gonna
the
be called?
75 easy,
Okay.
and it's going to work. You work out
Twice
times
a week.
Let's not get carried away.
Okay.
Twice in 75 days,
Oh my
and
goodness.
you,
Twice in 75 days.
yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
And you don't work out. So that was a favorite thing. of
Favorite,
yours.
and I've been running a lot, and I know that running has been a pretty big trend this year.
Did you join a running club?
I did join a running club, but I did not. People are always like, "Oh, it's like we're dating," or
It
whatever.
is a dating thing.
But it is a meeting. I think what's really happening is that millennials are really taking
Their health.
their health very serious, and we're trying to figure out a ways to not always drink in social settings,
True.
which is kind of big because there's been a study that the Generation Z is not drinking.
We notice it here at the village,
Yeah.
and we don't have a lot of Generation Z,
Yeah,
but we notice on member mixer days, very little alcohol is
I mean-
consumed. We put out both. Everybody goes for the NA.
yeah, and I think some of even the beer companies are realizing this because they're focusing on NA, and they might have like a crisis soon. that
Yeah.
the next generation's not going to drink like we did.
And then the next generation will all be lushy. They'll
Yeah.
be the lushy generation.
gonna
That's
be-
what we're going to name it.
yeah, lushy
Lushy
generation.
generation.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, it's been boring, but I just felt like
It's been good.
running, like health, all that stuff. It's cool. It's
Yeah,
exciting. Yeah.
That is exciting.
What about
Well,
you? What about favorite things?
Favorite things. I found a great new podcast. So those of you who know me, you know I love story jams. I still want to get one going here, a monthly story jam.
What's a story jam?
So it's like where you get together and everybody tells a just a usually it's around 8 to 10 minutes story. It has to be a true story as told by you,
Okay.
your life. It's an actual story of your life. And there's a podcast called The Moth. The Moth is you can in Denver, there's one at the Bluebird Theater, I think,
Okay.
that they meet once a month and you can get up on stage. They only let 10 people come up. So you go up on stage, you have to have a prepared 10-minute story. So they are rehearsed.
Yeah.
You're ready to tell that story. And I found another podcast, and The Moth has a podcast, by the way. If you want to learn how to tell great stories, listen to The Moth, and it's fabulous.
Interesting.
One of these days we're going to start it here, but the podcast I just found is called The Mortified Podcast.
Oh.
It's hysterical.
Oh.
It's so funny because it's people reading their diaries from when they were a child, like junior high or something, and they have to get up and it's things I think they're all diary entries. So far I've listened to about 4 episodes, but they're competitions because then they had Denver versus Boston, and it was the best storytellers of their mortified situations.
Yeah.
And they're reading their diaries from as a kid.
Interesting.
It was really funny. And it's again great storytelling.
Yeah.
In a condensed, amount of time. They're able to convey humor.
Yeah.
Times when they were mortified.
And since we're entrepreneurs, storytelling is a big part of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Because you can have data, you can have all these numbers, but how do you put all that into a way that you can sell something?
Right. You have to be a better storyteller.
Yeah.
And if you are in business, you should be telling your story every day, everywhere you go. Tell your stories.
And I miss that all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get so stuck in, I want to be professional, but people usually buy from you because they like your story or who you are.
And what makes people likable
Yeah.
is learning about you through your stories.
Exactly.
And if you told me something that you were mortified about when you were a teen,
it makes you more
I'd
vulnerable.
like you even more.
Yeah, exactly. Because okay.
Oh, I mean,
you're not such a tough
so
guy.
good.
You're scared of clowns or whatever it is. Yeah.
Is there somebody that's not scared of clowns? Because almost everybody is scared of clowns.
I think so. I'm
We like being
Mexican,
scared.
and we like being scared because we grew up on just like the worst movies. Our parents used to just put us in front of the TV and be like, "Watch Chucky."
Okay, I grew up. My mom.
Yeah.
Now this is how old I am. We would go to the movie theater, and there was 10 cents, and you could watch 2 movies. And really, you could just stay there all day. In the old days, you could just sit there and we'll start them again.
Yeah.
And my mom, I still tease her to this day. I watched 2 movies. It was back-to-back horror movies. Santa that came in the chimney and murdered the families. And then there was another one where these razor blade walls, and there were dogs at the end of the hall that hadn't been fed.
Oh.
And then you had to either walk towards the end of the hall to the dogs, or the razor blade wall would come in and kill you.
Terrifying.
And those are the scenes that I remember as a
kid.
child.
You can see why. I mean,
why we turned out the way we did.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, clowns are pretty scary. Even when they're nice, they're just like Ronald McDonald kind of scares me.
Yeah, he is kind of creepy.
Yeah,
I mean, going back to Mr. Rogers, he had creepy puppets.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know that there were clowns, but they were scary.
I think just like anything from back in the day, there's always like a creepy element, like Chuck E. Cheese, the animatronics. You remember the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese?
It's horrifying, and still there.
They're still there, but they're a little bit more. They're like nicer.
Are they? Okay.
Maybe they're not, but like if you Google,
I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese in a long time, but
I think they've done like a whole facelift and everything. But those animatronics are kind of
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Mortified podcast. Listen to it.
Yeah.
It's so good. Last night we discovered a new series on Netflix, and I feel bad because I don't remember the name of it, but it's with Kristen Bell and a Jewish rabbi.
Oh,
really good.
Really good.
I think it's called, I don't even remember. If any of you are listening to this, hey Jacob and Mia. Oh, Mia.
Oh, you have a
Mia.
vlog here.
I just started what? Jacob said I just started trying stick shift. But Jacob rides motorcycles, so
well, he already knows how to work the clutch.
He already knows he can't hold a coffee and drive his motorcycle.
Yeah, I mean he's like committed to. Yeah, I mean you can. I don't think I've ever seen a guy on a motorcycle.
I would love to see somebody riding a motorcycle drinking a coffee.
Sounds dangerous.
And then weaving in between all the lanes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If anybody knows what show I'm talking about, Kristen Bell, Jewish rabbi who's really good looking. It's the hot Jewish rabbi. She meets him. Yeah. And so it was really funny. I think we binge watched like 3 episodes last night.
Yeah, it's one of those shows where you just like have to like stop.
Yeah. I don't see anybody, maybe nobody else is watching it. It's on Netflix. Very good. I recommend it. So those are my favorite things.
Okay.
Francisco, this was fun.
I know this was exciting.
This was very fun. And we are at, wow, we even kept it under an hour, which Taylor and I have a really hard time doing.
Well, that's because you guys like to
but
talk.
we didn't have a guest either. If we had 3 people,
Oh, okay.
it would go longer.
Maybe we'll have a guest next week.
Maybe not.
Maybe I probably won't even be here next week. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It may be that you're
I might
here
be on
as
a
a
chop-
permanent fixture.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next.
We're recruiting them. You guys are gonna have to vote. Do you want to see Taylor back here? Do you want to see Francisco back
I don't
here?
know, that's a
Maybe you
hard
don't
one.
want to see me here. Maybe I'm gonna be cut.
It's just gonna be my
Just
show.
you, just the Francisco show.
We'll let the audience decide.
Paco.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be like Paco,
Yeah, if you see me in the hallway and you're here at the village, you can call me Paco and
and he'll answer to it.
I'll answer to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, one more announcement. We are going to be launching pretty soon the Open Air Academy.
Yes. I'm
And
so
that
excited.
you
about
and I
that.
came up with this idea.
Yeah.
I walked into an Apple store. I was standing there and I was looking over, and there were benches, rows of benches, and people were just sitting in the middle of the store listening to an instructor, and there were classes going on. I was like, we need to make that
Yeah.
at the village.
It's like a low commitment thing where yes, you're gonna come, you're gonna learn something quick. We're
Which
not
is
gonna give you a quick, like we're not gonna give you like something that's super long that you have to like make notes. It's like
No.
how to do this,
Like,
how to do something in
different
Lightroom,
apps,
whatever
or
it is.
blogging tips or
Yeah.
podcast tips, or I don't know. We'll have
Yeah,
to,
whatever it is.
which we're going to have to get feedback from people. What do you want to learn in
Exactly.
these little Open Air Academy
Yeah.
classes? But we've already got the benches.
Benches are cool.
They're out there. They're really cool.
Yeah.
Velvet, green velvet benches.
You can put them all together and you can make a bed out of it too. That's
You
what I
could.
learned.
They're
Yeah.
actually very cozy.
Yeah.
And so we have to get the TV part set up.
Yes, we need
the
to figure that out
screens.
next.
That's next. And then, and Jacob, you are a balcony person, not a basement person. Although, again, basement people, we love you. We need you. We just,
So is there
not
is there
spend.
more personalities? I've never heard balcony and basement. Is there another one or is that like the
no,
two?
I just was like,
Or are you just like
there's
is this
two kinds
something-
of people. Usually the balcony people are cheering you on and they're encouragers. And then basement people are usually those who typically
Realist.
try to hold you down.
Yeah.
And I say that, but it could just be that they,
Well, you need
they're
both though,
realists,
right?
but you do.
It's
think
just like
about it, in
everything. You need
business,
balance.
Yeah, in business, if you just have your rose colored glasses on, like I always wear,
Yeah.
everything's always amazing. Well,
It's not.
you have to think through some of your decisions, and is this really a wise one? And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you have to take their advice, but you need to listen to that and
Yep.
leave and say, maybe I need more research in this
Exactly.
area. So
I agree.
balcony and basement people.
Yep.
Well, thank you for those of you chatting in. I think this is all on
No,
Facebook. Oh, no,
that's
these are all LinkedIn.
Well, we had a
Oh.
Facebook one, and we didn't
Mia.
get Instagram working right.
No,
So we'll have to
Instagram
fix
did
that
not.
next time.
Yeah. You have to, right when it starts, you have to flip over to Instagram
Yeah.
and push record or go live,
Mm.
which is hard when you're on StreamYard. So StreamYard, get
We'll
fix
figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm
But
here.
this was great, and
yeah.
the sound worked.
Sound worked. I had the headphones on the whole time. I'm sweating, but
Yeah. And I couldn't do it. My little earring things
Yeah.
were hurting. So great chatting with all of
Sweet.
you.
Thank you for having
and,
me on, Gina.
I'm so excited. This
Yeah,
was
I'm
really
excited
fun.
too.
And we'll see you next week back here in the neighborhood. So we'll just jump one more time since you're new to the trolley.
I'm not gonna do.
We're
I'm just gonna jump on and keep my mouth shut.
Ding, ding.